4:30, let's call this meeting to order. I call this meeting to order at 4:30 p.m., September 5th, 2024. Considerations of any changes, additions, or removals to the agenda?
I think we need an additional executive session.
I didn't hear what you said.
I think we need an additional executive session for a contract matter.
Okay, I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll move forward. Comments from ratepayers. We'll now accept comments from ratepayers. Are there any ratepayers who wish to be heard?
A couple questions.
Sure.
Are there any plans to work on your tariffs? Because, there are good,
Yep.
because we're trying to encourage like heat pumps and electric cars and things, but the rub is the way your current tariff is if you use more than 2,000 kW for, I guess, 2 months, you get kicked up. So that's something that's
To
coming
an
in the future.
on-demand. It's
Yeah.
something we discussed in the last meeting, actually.
We did, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we discussed the timeline is a little tricky because you're not allowed to consider a tariff change and a rate increase. And so they had tried to pursue a rate increase within the past 6 months, which was partially successful.
Right.
We didn't get the full rate increase that they were looking for. And so the administrative office was really hoping to do a further rate increase, really to bring things in line with where they need to be.
Yeah.
But we can't
Right.
really do a tariff change if we're gonna do that. And so there was some discussion about, how we attack both those.
Right, because I think that tariff is back from the 70s and 80s when you try to get folks off of electric heat.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, so. And then the other question is, I've heard on the street that, couple questions for you. Are there security cameras at the maintenance shop? Have they been turned off? And if so, why would they be turned off? I've heard that at the coffee shop.
I'll take-
Yeah, I mean, I think there was some, we don't have a policy, I think is one of the bigger issues for me. The security cameras predated me. They were
Right.
installed before I've been on this board. I think it was an issue to me that I had heard from our employees that they were not really clear on what the cameras were used for and why they got put in. And they felt like they did not like the security cameras. They felt like they were being watched. And so from my position, I wanted the cameras removed or turned off because we didn't have a very clear outlined policy over what they were for, when they were used, how they could be viewed, under what circumstances people were able to watch them or review them. And so I wanted them removed until we could
Okay.
outline a clear policy over who was able to look at them, who was able to review them, and who was able to look at the footage.
Wouldn't that be a security concern though? Someone breaks in now, I mean, you got nothing there. I mean, I think cameras are everywhere. They're in this building, they're all over. Wherever you go, you're on a camera. I don't know why people would be. Are they in the building? So they were in like an area where the guys were.
No, they're on the outside of the building, and what we're working on now,
Mhm.
which is in the process of working on and something I'm dealing with, having the security of the person who's in charge of the shop having access to the cameras, which was not happening. So the superintendent of the shop should have access to the cameras. He did not. It was only the office manager who had access. So therefore, right now, what we're trying to do is get the access transferred to the superintendent, who is the boss of the shop.
I would think you'd have both of them look at it and
They could both have
Yeah,
access, but at this
okay.
point, it was just one human,
okay.
one person with access. So therefore, it was shut down for a very short time while we transfer
Okay,
the security codes.
I was just curious. Okay.
Yeah, that's why. And yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
We should have
I
cameras.
mean, in this day and age, it's just.
It's better to work
you-
under camera anyway.
You walk into Shaw's, you're on,
Yeah,
where.
you should. It keeps people honest. And I'm all for cameras. That was not the situation on why they were shut
Okay.
down.
Yeah, I think for me, more important just that there's clear policies. I think that just having a system in place making sure that we know who was looking at them and why, and that they're not, I mean, in theory, they could be open to the public at request, but just that not everybody can see them at all times, or that there's some sort of system in place around them.
There's also laws with municipalities that I've been looking into about being under camera, and that it, really being a municipality, you can't be just looking at the cameras all day long.
Yeah.
There has to be reason because you're working for a town. There's a law about that, so therefore some of that plays into it as well. It has to almost be recorded, I believe. Do you know anything about that? Sarah and I spoke a little bit about
It
that.
can't just be entertainment.
Right, it can't be, right.
Yeah.
In which it was being abused.
It was being abused as entertainment, okay. Now, does the town and village have a policy on that, or?
We do not, but as a municipality, generally speaking, we're a public entity, so if somebody walks in here with a camera, they can film it. So it's really a public entity, you have no expectation of privacy.
Okay, cool. All right, thank you.
Anything else?
Nope, that's all I got.
Any other comments from ratepayers? Okay, executive session, appointment of interim department director. We'll now take a motion to move into executive session for 2 matters.
I'll make that motion.
You need to,
We need a second.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You should state why.
Yeah, I think we need to say what
Oh,
the
okay, sorry, my
executive
bad,
sessions
thank
are
you.
for.
So first, may I have a motion to entertain executive session for the purpose of discussion, the appointment of an employee?
Yeah, that's, so moved.
Yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Joining us will be legal counsel Chris, how do you say your last name?
Recchia.
Recchia. Chris Recchia. Next, may I have a motion to find that premature public knowledge of contract matter would place this body at a substantial disadvantage.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Now may I have a motion to enter executive session for the purpose of discussion, discussing a contract?
So, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. Thank you. Joining us will be legal counsel. Action may be taken after this session. Thank you, everyone. We are finished. Our second executive session will call you back in. It is now 6:01 p.m. We're back in open session. We will be taking action on the first executive session matter.
So I'm gonna make a motion that we extend a job offer to Chris Recchia of terms to be determined by the chair, to be negotiated with the chair and legal counsel, of a salary consistent with the current salary for the department manager at 24 hours per week, plus benefits and mileage.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Well,
Wait, I'm sorry.
yeah,
Can you amend that?
I might,
You need to, if you would just say the title and say that it's for the position of interim department manager.
oh, I will amend my
Thank you.
motion to say interim department manager.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. Thank you. Did second motion.
And so on the second executive session, I will make a motion that we allow the chair and legal counsel to negotiate terms and authorize them to sign a contract regarding the safety audit. This motion shall supersede all previous motions on this issue.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
The motion carries. Thank you. All right, moving on to other business. I just wanted to make a note that there's scheduled, scheduling challenges with the previous scheduled Board of Commissioners retreat on September 27th. We will cancel and reschedule at a later date. All right, and adjournment. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you all very much
Yes.
for the time.
Thank you for coming
Appreciate
in.
it.
Yeah.
Yep.